Okay, so my name is Paul Davis, and I came here about a year and a half ago. And the reason I came is being a logger, being someone who is very used to being active. I was active not only at work, but I enjoyed all kinds of sports. And then specifically, I enjoyed windsurfing. And so I like to do extracurricular activities. And so, as I said, about a year and a half ago, I came down with an autoimmune disease called PMR. And it was very painful to the extent where I was only getting maybe an hour or two of sleep a night. And the pain was extreme. It was very difficult to work and to even do anything outside of that. And at the same time, I also came down with carpal tunnel syndrome, uh, very intense in the right hand, where all four fingers were numb and very painful, and I couldn't even close a fist. I could barely do this, and it was really required for me at work to do that. So I researched doing the surgery for carpal tunnel syndrome. I knew I was going to be out of work for multiple weeks, probably 6 to 8 weeks. And the amount of research that I put into that, I realized that I wouldn't be working. And being self-employed, I had to support my family and those who worked for me. So I realized that if the surgery even didn't go well, that there would be further complications. And so being able to put time and effort into stem cells, where I realized there wasn't a downside, there could only be an upside. But because I had already run the numbers, I realized that even if it didn't work, I was far ahead of the game, so to speak. And so, but I could tell now that I'm glad I made the decision, because I did not have the surgery and complications from that surgery, which has been fantastic. And at the same time, I was looking, how could I fix the PMR or find relief from this intense muscle pain, which was basically a type of arthritis. And so I fell upon stem cells and finally found Innate Stem Cell Center, where I felt comfortable, where I didn't have to go outside of the country. The cost was excellent to be able to figure out how I could realize the best way to accomplish what I wanted to try and do with the money that I had. And so I really appreciated Innate Stem Cell Center, where they were able to break that down. And so today, about a good year and a half, a good year later, actually, from my first injections, I realized it was a process that I would have to go through. And so I opted to do injections in the wrist and systemically. And now, about a year later, I can make a complete fist, no pain at all, no obstructions that I can feel in the wrist. And I only have just a little bit of tingling left, which is fantastic, because I did the cost benefit analysis on my own for doing the surgery. And I'm so glad that I got the injections in the wrist. Now for the PMR, it's been fantastic. The first injections, there was a slight benefit in the overall reduction of inflammation. The second time I did it, about 4 months later, I could tell the difference in the reduction in the pain, the inflammation was starting to go away. And so I realized that this process was working and that I needed to continue on with it. And now, as I've done, I come back for a third time, they also added EBO2. And I can tell you, for only being like 4 days into the EBO2, that it's fantastic. I know it's still a process, that I'll have to do it again a time or two. But the benefits that I've already felt from the EBO2, I think are just going to be synergized with the stem cells. So I'm really looking forward to that today. And I'm even feeling so confident that soon, I hope, one of my passions, windsurfing, I'll be able to get back to that soon again, because my grip strength is just fantastic again in that order. And the total body inflammation is now melting away. And with PMR, sometimes it can take up to 5 years for that to burn away. And now I know I had it pretty severe, and a year and a half into it, I'm thinking that maybe sometime this coming summer, that most of that pain and inflammation will be gone. And one of the things I really appreciated here was all of the staff has been very attentive to all of the things that I've undergone, whether it be the injections in the wrist or the EBO2. They were very cognizant of how I felt. They didn't want anything bad to happen or go wrong, or some people have reactions, obviously. And so they were trying to stay ahead of that to make sure you are as safe as possible. And so I really appreciate all the staff, and especially Dr. Whitney. He also was able to work on my knee, my right knee, and which was fantastic. And I appreciate all of those efforts from the staff here in Innate Stem Cell.